Welcome to our first exciting podcast for this year. This is the Ready Set Estate Sale podcast. We with us today is Tammy Moppin and Daryl Hinkle, and I'm Dwayne Ward, and we are your hosts for Ready Set Estate Sales. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So how's
Great to be
everybody today?
here.
So how's everybody today? Exciting day?
Yes, very
What'd
It's
you
been a
do,
excited.
warm
Tammy?
day. We've enjoyed the outdoors.
Oh, what'd you do, Tammy?
Well, this is my kind of winter weather. The
Oh, it
50s and sunshine. Yes, we went and watched our oldest granddaughter Molly, and she was performing dancing in the Nutcracker.
Oh, how nice.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, and
Sweet.
our other 7-year-old granddaughter Olivia danced last week in her ballet company's the Nutcracker. So we're very blessed. We've had a lot of fun.
Great.
Yes.
That's
Well,
great.
I had a more exciting day.
What'd you
Oh,
do?
At 1:30, I realized there's an estate sale here in town, and I didn't have time to get there before they closed at 2 o'clock. So I missed an estate sale today.
Well, that wasn't
oh,
very exciting.
That ruined
really?
my day.
So, well,
Oh,
I had kind of a sad day. I had to attend a funeral. My uncle passed, so I had to go to his funeral. So, but hey, he's a better place. That's all that matters. So, but
oh.
anyway, so who are we, guys? Let's tell people who we are. So, Tammy, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, of course, I'm Tammy Maupin, and I have a Facebook private group, estate sale group, and it's called Northeast Tennessee Estate Sale Treasures. And I started this group in Facebook about 6 years ago at the request of a good dear friend of mine. She and I ran into each other at an actual estate sale here in Kingsport, where we live, and she wanted I asked her if she was going to any other sales, and she said, well, I don't know, I didn't know there were more. And I said, oh yes, there's all kinds. So she asked me if I could put together a group and invite her, and that's why it started out as a private group. And it started out with 5 to 7 members, and I'm now at 4,700 members,
Wow, that's
Wow.
wonderful.
growing every
That's
day.
awesome.
Thank you. I'm so happy about it.
That's
Yes.
great.
That is
And
great.
I've also been a long time fan of estate sales. So I've went to estate sales as a customer. I've also helped a friend with do his estate sales. So I've kind of have seen it from all angles.
That's right.
Okay, great, great. So, Daryl, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
Well, I am Daryl Hinkle. Um, I first started getting excited about, well, I got excited about auctions first. I started going to auctions and I realized, man, you can get some great bargains here. And then next thing I know, someone said, hey, do you want to go to an estate auction? And I thought, well, that sounds like fun. And we went and I was hooked from that day on.
Wow.
Uh, it was outside and it was like 25 degrees. We were freezing, but we had the time of our life. It was great.
Great.
And I've actually saw Tammy's page and become members of it. And somehow our paths crossed again, and we just decided to join up and team together and make this incredible podcast so we can
Ex-
help promote all of the estate sales to even a higher level than just reading it on Facebook.
Great.
exactly.
So anyway, well, I'm Dwayne Ward, and tonight I'm going to be your host as we go through this. And at each podcast, we'll just pass the hosting around so you'll get to know us all a little bit better. But back in probably 2006 or seven, I got interested in this excuse me, antique business, and I went into a little antique store and I met Daryl there, and we just started talking, and we went from there, and then kind of started our own little antique business. We've owned three different antique malls in the past, sold those all out. Once we become estate sale owners, we were the owners of East Tennessee State Liquidators, and we we basically was one of the only two companies in the area at that time. And since then, it's kind of exploded, and there's estate sale companies everywhere, which is great because there's always room for one more. So we went into that, and the estate sale business is something that once you get it in your blood, you just can't get it out of it. But we're glad we started it, and we have lots of experience to share with people. Tammy's got a lot of knowledge she's going to be giving to people in regards to estate sales and where they're located and what they got and things like that. And Daryl and I are going to be bringing you knowledge about what to, how to, when to, and anything else. But one thing we're not going to be doing is we won't be bashing any companies, and we won't be trying to propagate or instigate or encourage anyone to start a company. But it's up to them. But other than that, that's what we're here for. We're just here to help the companies to get the word out so people can understand and know more about what's going on and just carry on like that. So, Tammy, how did you meet us crazy guys?
Oh, Lordy. I can't remember the exact year, but that sale that you all did on, I think, was it 10th Avenue in
Oh,
Johnson?
yeah, the big sale.
Oh
Con-
my gosh, yes. I fell in love with the house. It was a huge
Absolutely.
house.
That was
And
Congressman Sales' house.
oh gosh, it was beautiful. And when I was just before I went in, I stopped and looked, and I kept saying, "Wow, wow!" I was afraid to come in, but I went inside and walked around, and every room was magnificent,
Right.
beautiful items. The house was beautiful. And I ended up, coming back. I'm sure that all day, every day
Oh,
you
yeah. I remember you came every day of the sale.
Every day.
Every
every
day.
day of that sale. And I think I bought something probably every single day. And that's when I started talking to Mitch outside, and I got on your all's email listing. I didn't want to miss another sale. You all were so, so sweet, so nice, so friendly, so professional, but also so fun to be around. And you all are a joy. And
We appreciate that.
I'm so honored to call you all my friends.
And so are we. And so are
Yeah,
we.
same
I,
here.
I used to, I remember you come to the sales, and I go there and say, Daryl, that sweet little lady's back again. He said, where is she? And I said, she's right around the corner there. So we just hunt you down and just talk to you for hours. And I'd have to finally have to say, Tammy, I got work to do. I got to go. But it was just all fun and games. It's all fun and
I
games.
know.
So
Love it. I think that was a very successful sale for you all too, I'm sure.
it was a huge sale, a very successful sale. Yeah,
It
like I said, that was Congressman Sells' house. He was a congressman in Tennessee back in the 20s, and his family came on and they owned the King department stores here in Johnson City. And so it was just a very, very, very nice sale that we
I
did.
I remember that when you
Yes,
said that, I thought they owned a department store.
they
I
did.
remember that upstairs you could tell that there was like a great big crafting area. I mean, it
Hmm.
was long, like a great big crafting table, and
That was their wrapping station, Tammy, where they wrapped all of the for the people when they
I
bought something.
I couldn't believe that. I was just like, oh my God, I kept saying it. And if I'm not mistaken, that home had a double staircase as well.
It did.
Did.
Yes, I felt like I was in a Gone with the Wind home. I just,
Oh, yeah. And
yes.
also the pool out back. I don't know if you got to see the pool, but the pool was shaped in the shape of Snoopy, the Snoopy dog. It was
Oh,
shaped like Snoopy because the guy had a very strong infatuation with Snoopy and Charlie Brown and all that, so he loved all that. So he had his pool built like Snoopy. It was
And I
very
bet
nice.
Tammy will agree with this as well. When you go to estate sales, the owners, there is a different personality at every sale you go to with every owner. And
Oh
that's
yeah,
what is so fun and you like about it. And you will also notice that most of them, they were a collector of something. And there was a large collection of something in every one of them. And the one you just happened to be talking about was Snoopy. He took all of his family to Walt Disney World and places every year. And he had hundreds and hundreds of Snoopy items that we had to sell. And luckily, that was just getting real popular again. And we were able to sell 99% of all of them. So that was good.
I remember
Yeah.
now that you said that there was a whole big table full of Snoopy,
The whole room, the whole sunroom was Snoopy.
Yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. That
Yeah.
was unbelievable. But yes,
Really.
I loved that.
Yeah.
And I've also attended, like I said, other sales after that from you all.
Oh, yeah.
You've held sales at beautiful homes in a warehouse,
Hmm.
everywhere. Yes.
Yes, we have.
Like I said, there's multiple companies out there, and they're all unique, and they all have had beautiful sales, and they're just
Yes.
very welcoming and inviting you in. We've been to numerous sales as buyers as well as as sellers, and we seem to be treated just the same either way you are. I mean, people are just so nice. All the state sale companies are, you know, and not all state sales are very easy to do. I mean, and not all customers are easy to get along with, but everybody handles them really well because a lot of times we just step back and just watch and see how the companies are going to handle this particular situation or that particular situation. And they all do amazing jobs at handling the public and just keeping their sales moving along. So they all do a fantastic job. So we give kudos out to everyone out there that does the state sales and just keep up the great good job, guys. So
Exactly.
why is there such a need for information for state sales? Does anybody have any ideas about why there's such a need for information? I
Um,
think one of the reasons we need information is that there's not everybody has access to a computer, or not everybody has access to the newspapers, and there are
that's
different ways that people like to see the information. Some like to be told what's going on. Some
Right.
like to read what's going on. Some like to see what's going on. And by doing this, and along with Tammy's Facebook page, and along with the statesales.net and statesales.com, they have all avenues now to be able to see and hear what's going on within the state sale area that we're in. We're in Northeast Tennessee, but this could become something that we could expand out and do the whole state of Tennessee or something. It could just really, really grow. So there's definitely a need for more information on estate sales out there and where they're at and what they have to offer.
Yeah.
Don't you agree,
But
Tammy?
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah. In fact, really, to me, there should be like a directory of estate sale companies listed somewhere, because I have had people reach out to me and say, I don't know who to contact for an estate sale company, Tammy. Who do you
Right.
recommend? So I
Right.
feel like it needs to go a little further, and there needs to be some kind of a directory published somewhere for people.
Yeah. For us, it would be like almost put on a rotation. If someone says, who would you recommend? Well, we wouldn't pick one out over the other. We would just pick like the next three on the list and say, okay, here's the next three that you never just tell anybody one company.
Right.
Right.
You give them a choice of at least three, because we like all of them.
Exactly.
Even when we were doing sales full time, we like all of the other companies as well. And
Exactly.
so it would be very non-biased for us to say, oh, you need to go to Outlander and let them do it, or you need to go to Willow Creek or the Estate Chicks. Just start a rotation, and when they call, we can say, okay, here's the next three that we can recommend, and give them the contact, and just keep that rotation going.
Right. Right.
So
But now,
this could be a great way to promote sales.
mhm,
But what
Yes.
people don't understand, that don't know about podcasts that well, you don't have to be at home sitting on your computer to hear this. It's we do have the video on YouTube, but this podcast will be actually on all major podcast platforms. While they're driving to work, they can be listening. Okay, what's going on this weekend? Turn it on to it. Um, Working out at the gym, anything, they could just tune in and listen to this as well as seeing the video.
Right.
right.
So
And
that's
something else to interject there, Daryl. Tammy says they need to be a directory. There is kind of a directory if these companies subscribe to statesales.net or statesales.com or whichever one they choose. We're not going to put one above the other one, but when you go to look for a company, you just click on the location. It usually gives you a list of all the
You're
companies
right.
in the area who are actually able to do estate sales, and they can choose then, and it'll send an email to them, and they'll be notified back by that company to talk to them about an estate sale. So
Oh,
they should always go there and choose two or three and talk to two or three rather than just choose one, say, run with it. But there is
exactly.
that means
Oh,
to
that's
it.
very good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me that. I actually get the weekly, well, I call it weekly. I actually get the estatesale.net information that
Right.
comes in my email, and it'll come and say, these are the sales going on in your area. And I get
Hmm.
that maybe a couple of times a week. But I didn't realize what you were saying on that part, Dwayne. You know, that for if anybody is looking to have a sale, that they
Right.
could find that out.
Yes, they can go there and at the very beginning you click on find an estate sale company and it'll ask for your area you're in and it'll give a list of companies that actually subscribe through them,
Okay.
to sell so they can actually choose the company that way. But you had a great idea too, Tammy, that maybe later on you could add a directory onto your Facebook page about companies, put it under files or something.
Um,
People can click on the file and see a list of all the companies in this area. So there's always means to improve. So
Oh, oh yes, I agree. I agree. And some estate sale companies only work in a certain area, and so
right.
Right.
maybe Greenville or Morristown, for instance. I can think of my sweet friend Nellie Hill, the owner of Hillside Estates. She tries to stay in the Greenville, Afton, that type of area.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's why I was thinking, that if somebody lives in that area and they wondered who I could contact, Nellie for, number one. But like you
Yeah.
said, there were so many wonderful companies out here. So,
Right.
Yeah.
some of them don't travel though that far. But
Right.
It's
Yeah.
true.
We got the privilege of meeting Nellie this year. We ventured down to Greenville at some estate sales, and we
oh,
started seeing this lady we hadn't seen before. So I just went up and we introduced ourselves and asked her who she was, and she stopped what she was doing and said, "Oh, you got to meet my husband as well," and called him over. And very, very, very nice person.
oh,
And
Great.
we've
well,
been back many times.
That's wonderful. That just shows the top personalities that runs estate sales around this area. East Tennessee, we're blessed with good personalities and very calm people to work
Yes,
with
we are.
yes,
versus
yes,
other people. So
exactly.
what are some of the insights? What should people you know what should people look for when they go to estate sales? What do they what am I trying to say here, guys? Help me. Insights.
You're asking us what we go to look for?
Oh yeah, you can do that. Let's do that. Daryl, what do you look for in estate sales?
Well, everybody collects something that's hard to find,
Right.
and I'm the one that likes to look for and collect the old Victorian unusual pieces of silver plate.
Okay.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of them I can find with animals on them, and just I guess my favorite is the jewelry chest. Well, they called them jewelry caskets back then, and but there's some really unique ones, very ornate. And,
Right.
but that's probably one of my things I never stop looking for.
Okay. Well, what about you, Tammy? What do you like?
Well, for me, I think it's different things, but I really love the vintage Fisher Price toys, things that I played with
Oh,
when I was little.
Right.
And I had a whole big collection when I was growing up, and then my mother sold most all of our toys in a yard sale. So
No, my.
I know I had to rebuy, as many of these Fisher Price toys as I could find for me to collect and keep in my home, and for our grandchildren to play with.
Right.
I also loved looking for Gone with the Wind items, the Wizard of Oz items. There's pictures behind me. My mother, Gone with the Wind was our favorite. My mom, dad, and my sister and myself. That was our favorite movie. And so I would buy my mother when she was alive. I bought my mother Gone with the Wind pictures, plates, dolls. And so I would look for items like that. The Wizard of Oz was just for me, myself. And of course, I love to read. I'm surrounded by books in my library room here. So I would look for that. Oh, and sometimes music, like records, 45s or, albums.
Those are popular.
They are so popular. So I think those were my biggest things I love to look for.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, my big thing I like to look for is glassware. I'm a big Fenton collector. So I have a huge Fenton collection.
Wow.
And probably one of the best pieces, well, not the best pieces, but the best type of glass that I feel Fenton made was the Burmese glass, which is a pinkish green. It comes in different colors. And it's also not iridescent, but it's uranium glass. So when you put a black light on it, it turns green and glows like a kryptonite or something. So it kind
Wow.
of catches my interest, and I really love the Burmese glass with the uranium content in it, which makes it glow. But there's all sorts of things that we all like, and that's what makes the state sale so wonderful. Is that you just never know when you go what you're going to find.
Right.
You could find a treasure that you didn't know you was looking for, and probably some of the best pieces I've ever found was when I went not looking for something. I just said, I'm just going to go to the state sale, and boom, there it is. It's like, oh my gosh, I got to have that. You know how it goes. And we've all had those got you moments. So
Yes.
I think Daryl was talking about a moment that Tammy had a big, oh my gosh, talking
Oh,
about the
Yeah.
ring
I'm going to
that
have to
you're,
refresh her memory on this. Well, first of all, I'm ashamed to tell you, Tammy, I have never watched Gone with the Wind.
oh,
never.
really? Wow.
I am marked
Wow.
off the list now. I already know it. I've never watched Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm going to make it a chore. I mean, I'm going to make it a honor to do that
Okay.
in the near future.
Pack a
Okay.
lunch.
Oh, is it a long movie?
It's 4 hours
And 4
long.
hours, yeah, 4 hours
Okay,
long.
I can do that with Mountain Dew and popcorn. I can do that. But yeah, one thing that I think Tammy's about forgotten is several years ago, she did a Facebook post and she was in tears because she finally found something that was affordable that she had been looking for a long time. And
Oh,
that was the perfect size Hoosier cabinet that I had always wanted.
oh, oh my
And
God.
Well,
I think, if my memory's right, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I think you found that from Willow Creek.
well, let Tammy tell the story.
I
Tell
did.
the story, Tammy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I get excited too, Tammy.
I know. I love it. You all are doing an excellent job. I I love it. I for whatever reason, I wanted a Hoosier cabinet for many years, and then, like Daryl was saying, 2 years ago, Willow Creek had a sale over in Gate City, and they had a picture of this beautiful white and red Hoosier cabinet, and I fell in love because I love red. I'm wearing red now. I fell in love with that. I thought it looked beautiful, and I was so excited, and so I was, trying not to get my hopes up. It was the last day. I felt like it's probably gone. I got so lucky and I found out, okay, yes, it's still here. And after we kind of did some measuring and all that, uh, we purchased it and we bought it and brought it home that day. And I've had it in my kitchen around the corner here for 2 years. And I couldn't believe it. I got it for half off. And that's what I'm saying. It's
Hey,
incredible. And I use it. I look at it every day. I love it. I love it. I'm so lucky.
So maybe I missed the main point here, but why was this Hoosier cabinet so important to you?
Um, that's a good question to be. I mean, yeah, well, and I never did grow up seeing a Hoosier cabinet either. I
Okay,
mean, like, some people will say, "Oh, it reminded me of my grandmother's." My grandmother had one, or
right.
I no, my grandmother's never had a Hoosier. My mom
Mine
didn't.
didn't either.
okay.
So I don't know what the significance was. I think this one in particular, the colors just, it was just right.
Oh yeah.
Was it was beautiful, and I was like, yes, I can use it to put things in. And matter of fact, on the very top of my Hoosier, I may have to find a picture and we'll put
Oh
it on
yeah.
the podcast. On the very top of my Hoosier, I have my mom's Pyrex and some of her Corning ware. After
Oh, how sweet.
Oh, that's great.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Did you say that it was the red and white?
it is,
Oh, that was always my favorite as well.
Right. Right.
and
I
and this
love.
this one doesn't have the flour sifter either. So in other words, I've got plenty of storage, and that's what I use it
Right.
for.
Right. Now, does
Yes.
yours have the metal pull out the top that pulls out where it gives you extra room?
It does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm just so happy. And right after I paid for that Hoosier, Tony Tony Salyer from Willow Creek told me, he said, Tammy, he said, good thing you got here when you did. Somebody else, another lady, was showing up because she was wanting to see if it was still available on the last day.
Wow.
Well, it was just meant for you to have it.
It
It
was
was.
to be,
Yeah.
and it was out there in Gate City, and my mom went to high school in Gate City, so it kind of was, yeah, really, to me, in my mind, a full circle.
Right. Right. And it's so intriguing and so um, I guess inspiring how they used the space back then because they really didn't have a lot of room, and they
I,
made those tops where they could pull them out and have extra work room. And when they finished, they push them back in to give them more room in the house.
Yeah.
So it's just amazing how they did that. And
I,
that's how the drop leaf tables became so popular because they didn't have room for a table to be set up full time, so they would drop the leaves and slide them against the wall when they weren't in use. And then when the family came in to be eaten, they would pull them back out and bring the leaves up, and they would eat and have room for everybody. And when they finished, they'd put the leaves down and slide it back against the wall again, which
I,
opened up the space. So,
Yes.
they were just very ingenious on how they used space then. And
yeah,
now we have no idea how to do that because we have such huge houses and so much space just to move around in. But they had to use every inch they had
Yeah.
and design everything to fit in those little spaces, which is
I,
so intriguing.
But
exactly.
those people with those big houses and all that room to move around in, I bet you 20% of those people still have a Hoosier cabinet there. There is
They
still
probably do.
so much love for those cabinets.
There is.
Yes.
That's true.
Did you guys sell a lot at any of your sales? Did you have a lot of the Hoosier cabinet?
Oh, always. We had one house, it was a hoarder house sale.
Oh,
And
Lord.
there was at least 4 or 5 Hoosier cabinets in there. And it
Um,
varied from condition to really poor to excellent.
Oh,
right.
yeah,
And
that was a mess.
Wow.
in
Wow.
fact, Tammy, we asked you to help us with that one, and you come out and you actually
Oh
worked
God.
one or 2 days with us on that one.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is the first time we really got
spent.
to spend time with you, not as a customer, but as a friend.
Oh, and I loved spending time with you all. That one though
Yes.
was very challenging, wasn't it? There was
Oh,
no
Oh,
buddy,
it
was
sure was.
it?
with that
And
one.
even on the podcast and in real life, if people come up and they say, I really want to start an estate sale company, what do I do? And I'll look at them and I'll say, run. I said, unless you are ready to commit your life and work unlimited hours a week, you better think twice, because this is a hard industry. And let me tell you, these owners and their employees, they work their butts off for sometimes 2 weeks getting the sale ready or longer. I mean, it's not all fun and games like most customers think they are. They think you can go in 2 days and hey, it's set up, it's priced, it's cleaned up, it's ready to go. But it is nothing like that.
And that's how you can tell a good estate sale company when you go to a sale and it looks like it. Boom, you walked in and everything's totally organized and pristine and clean and looking good. It's like you make it look so easy. People say, "Oh, I can do this," but they don't
Right.
realize how much work it took to get it to look that pristine and that clean
Right.
and that organized. Because normally when you go in, It's not. It's a totally different story, and all
Mm,
these companies out here will vouch and verify that it is totally different.
that's right.
So
Absolutely.
again, you get kudos to all these companies for doing such a wonderful job setting up their sales. Because there's not many out here that you go to that's disorganized. They're all pretty well put together, straight. So it's really
Exactly.
good.
And if more customers knew that, they would respect these estate sale owners a whole lot more.
Exactly.
They
Yes,
really would.
exactly.
Exactly.
Because that sale that you were talking about with the hoarder sale,
Oh,
if I'm not mistaken, that took you all like a month or more to
it did, because the basement was filled with boxes from floor to ceiling.
well,
And
every room was.
yeah, every room of the house, there was no walkways. You had to turn sideways. And oh, yeah, that was quite a challenge, but it was also so rewarding. When you go through boxes and you find trash and trash, and then you start finding all these jewels from the 40s and the 50s,
yes.
and Hoosier cabinets and sewing machines. We had over 12 to 14 Singer sewing machines, the paddle kind. And like I said, all those Hoosier cabinets, and there was not one of anything. There were lots of everything.
Well,
Yeah.
But
wasn't
yeah,
that lady an antique owner?
Yes.
she was a dealer. She traveled around and she did shows, yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
So
thought so. That makes
And her
sense.
daughter said that she always bought more than she sold and brought it back home. That's why there was so much stuff
so
on the property.
there again though, that's what makes it so rewarding was the fact that we walked in and barely had room to turn. But the day of the sale, we had it organized and on shelves and everything where there's room for people to actually walk through and shop. You know,
Yes.
it took a lot of organizing and a lot of planning and a lot of crying, blood, sweat, and tears, and actually blood, sweat, and tears. I'll say it again because we all got cut and we all sweated. But
Yes.
and I think sometimes we actually cried. In fact, we everyone get put together, but we did get it together. But that's
Oh,
the rewarding part is you walk in, you see it, it explodes like a bomb, stuff's everywhere, and then it just all falls back in place and it turns into a really organized sale. That's when you know you've done a good job, and you can
oh,
walk away and say, "I did a good job," and the
oh.
pepper
Especially
sprout.
when you did it with no restroom.
Oh, don't go
That
there.
was quite
Don't
a
go there.
challenge.
That was one of the challenges. Yes.
Oh man, yeah.
Don't
No,
go there. So
no electricity, no running water, and it happened to be a very cold day. The day I was there with you, like in November. It was the other days
It
hadn't been
was,
that
yes.
you said. Yeah, and it
right.
was
We did have some electricity. We had to run a lot of cords because so many outlets in the house didn't work, and
okay.
so we did have some electricity. Yeah, that was quite interesting. And I'm sure everyone in this industry has dealt with that from time to time.
Oh yes, but that's excellent what you said though, Daryl. If you're not ready to commit to something for a long,
Oh man,
then
you're right.
for years, and not just in the immediate future, but it would be for
Right.
years to come.
That's right.
Exactly. Yes, there are so many wonderful companies out here,
Mm, there
and
is.
people that I've met,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's still estate sale companies that I want to meet as well. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like there's new ones coming on all the time, so I'm sure we'll continue to meet people, and hopefully through this we'll be able to bring a lot of those companies on and introduce them to the area and let people actually meet the owners rather than wondering who owns this company, what are
right,
they like.
Right.
We can get to know them more personal on a more personal level, and that's part
exactly.
of our plan is to be able to bring companies on and just let them tell about their companies and why they do what they do and how long they've been doing it, and just let the people get to know them because that's half of the battle is knowing the person you want to work for. So
Nobody can promote your company better than yourself.
that's true. That's
That
true.
is true.
That's
I
true.
agree with
So it's a
that.
good opportunity for all the companies that's
Yeah.
already, wanting to come online and wanting to promote their company. And yeah, we welcome all of them. And the way it's looking right now, we've got a pretty good share that's already wanted to make commitments to do it. So
Right. Right. So, but well, guys, I think we've done a pretty good job here letting people know what we're up to and what we're going to be doing. And we're gonna be trying to do these podcasts at least once a week to keep y'all up to par because estate sales happen every week, and Tammy's got her little notebook down every day, just writing down, and she's so organized. So, as you know, we'll probably try to record them on Tuesday and release them on Wednesday to give you guys time to uh, address the estate sale starting on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you'll have the information firsthand. We'll try to, give you little tidbits of what they got there, what they're, basically what the houses can contain. We won't be able to do any pricing or tell you any prices or anything like that because that would go against our standards and against the company standards. But we will be able to, say, they have clothing, dishes, records, furniture, things like that, just to give you an idea of what they have in their estate sales.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate you listening to us. You guys got any final comments you want to say?
Tammy?
I'm very excited. I'm very honored to be a part of this wonderful podcast with two of my dear, wonderful friends here that I enjoy being around and that make me smile and make me laugh.
Make you laugh.
Be around.
You make us laugh, so we are a perfect team, I'm telling you.
Yes.
And if people just give us one or two podcasts, as long as I don't hold the little intro we had when we were trying to be professional singers and as long as I don't hold that against us, it'll be some great times.
That first little intro was kind of rough. I think we did 440 takes on that. Metaview started to send lunch out to us because we was there so long.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, make a point to watch it. I think it's 3 minutes?
No, it's a minute 28 seconds.
Oh, a minute 28 seconds. Yeah,
but it seems like an eternity. We're so bad.
It did. At one point, I said take 70, and but yeah, it was quite an experience, and we laughed and we about cried. It was great.
It was fun.
But yeah, make a point to watch it. Just don't hold
and we
anything
froze
against
because
us.
the sun was up, and then the sun started going down. It got colder and colder.
Love it.
It was a long day.
I loved it. It was so much fun. But on a serious note, though, yes, I do hope that people will tune in weekly because you guys have many, many, many years of experience, knowledge, expertise in knowing the ins and outs and tips, for people that are just going to an estate sale to shop. And I can clue people in on, hey, here's where the sales are. Here's some of the sales going on this week, and maybe and even auctions, and there are all kinds of information that we're going to be sharing. That's not including my personal private estate sale group there. So
right, exactly. So guys, don't forget to hit the like button down below and definitely subscribe because that's how you keep in touch with us. And that's how we, when we got a new podcast out or a new YouTube channel video out, is you get alerted if they hit the subscribe button. I can't say that word, subscribe button. Then you'll be notified when we have a new podcast out. And we appreciate you listening to us today, and we hope that you'll come back and listen to us weekly as we grow. Absolutely. And as we grow, hopefully we'll get better because, we're pretty rough at this, but we're learning. And so forgive us our mistakes and overlook our blunders and bloops and all the other good stuff, and just hang with us as we grow because we're here to help you guys. We're not here to fight against you or to discourage you or tear any companies down, but we're here to lift everybody up and to try to unite the area into one so we'll all be friends and we'll all be able to communicate and talk together and help each other out, which that's what it's for, to help each other out. Again, we thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again on an additional podcast. So bye, everybody.
One more comment. Okay. Don't stop the recording. And like I was going to say, for the folks that don't do the videos, you can go to any of the networks that you will listen to your podcast on and type in Ready, Set, Estate Sale in one word, and you can find all of our episodes will be listed there as well. So there's many ways to find us out there. So we hope to hear from any of you. Leave us feedback. Leave us comments.
Okay.
And we sure do appreciate you.
And there you have it. Daryl spoke it. So All hearts clear at this end church. All hearts clear.
That's it.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you
Bye-bye.
next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.